Okay, tonight I want to talk about psychobabble versus psychic brilliance. Psychobabble versus psychic brilliance. So, a lot of people on Instagram, YouTube, any form of social media, and any person that has like a platform and a way where they speak to lots and lots of people, they have achieved what I call psychic brilliance, which is basically when they're insourcing and talking with their internal voice rather than speaking with their external voice, their external perceptions. And the difference mainly being whenever you hear a person with psychic brilliance speak, they can get into your head very easily, very quickly. And it's not because they're trying to dig into your head, it's because they're speaking from a space within their self where true silence lies and the truth is unveiled. When you're speaking to someone that's only knows psychobabble, they shit can go one ear and out the next because they're not saying anything of substance. They're only speaking Babylon talk. They're only saying words and trying to string them together in a way that makes sense. But that's not how you speak. You speak internally from a depth that's unknown to common man. And I had to make this video because I asked myself, why do some people, some YouTubers, Instagrammers, anything of that nature, people, influencers, have a way of getting inside my head? And it's because they speak psychically and they speak brilliantly. It's not any way crude or external in any sense. So the psychic brilliance is those beings that are like the highest levels of speakers, motivational speakers, people that are even going up and they're tapping into levels of intrinsic value just from their meditations and contemplations by themselves. So if you ever wanted to know and realize why some people are eloquent in their way they speak, in the way they pronounce, in the way they fluctuate and invocate their words and meanings, it's because of psychic brilliance. And it's not like they're anything better than you or someone else. The only thing they chose is to leave the external to the external and go internal, which they already are internal. So it wasn't really a hard thing. It was just letting go of the body per se. Because even if you go internal, it's difficult because you could be latching on to yourself psychically, physically, not physically, but spiritually. Yeah, well, physically, it can go on all levels. You can be holding on to yourself. And then when you finally do let go, it's like you're falling into a deep, deep, deep space. And you could be terrified of falling. And so you instantly try to do something to make it stop. But you need to become that feeling. You need to become that space and allow the space to catch you, because your spirit will catch you. That's your benefactor. And you need to allow that to happen. Even if you have to imagine yourself jumping off an esoteric cliff to learn how to fly, you have to do that because it will become your brilliance later on. And at one point, you will know and see the truth. So those are some major differences between psychobabble and psychic brilliance. Psychic brilliance is something that's going to be very needed going forward, because to cut through the fluff and the bullshit, you're going to need a way of knowing who's on bullshit and who's on real shit, real shifts, real spirit. And it's going to be very difficult to do so because you can still refine psychobabble and it'll sound good. You can see that as like the rappers of today, the one rappers that don't actually add anything to the culture. They just revolve and go back to that which was before and resample and keep the club and hookup culture pumping and flowing accordingly. And you can see the psychic brilliance from people like Nas, Kendrick, Kanye. They're just eloquent in their speech. And even today, you can go back and listen to it and like really just listen to how they're fluctuating and using their words and this actually being their life. It's not just something they made up. And even if they are living a hard life where they're shooting people every day, you know, they were digging themselves out of that hole because they didn't want to be just a psycho babbler for the rest of their lives. They actually wanted to have meaning behind every word they spoke. And that's what I strive to do as well. Um, so with that being said, love y'all and attempt, try, push yourself, even force yourself if you have to become psychically brilliant. It's only gonna do better for you in the long run. And the psychobabble is hard to cut through, and it's gonna be even more so hard to cut through on the other side. And it might even be more so subtle, so you won't even notice it then. So it'll be even more of a invasive, pervasive, perverse system. Peace.